Hello everyone. In this lecture, we are going to discuss electric potential. As you are already known from your intermediate course that potential is defined as V is equal to W by Q, where W is the work done to bring the charge Q from infinity to any particular point. So, if P is any point, if this is the point P, then the potential at point P is defined as W by Q, where Q is the charge which brought to at point P and W is the work done required to bring the charge Q at this point. Okay, so we can say that uh, work required to bring the unit charge from infinity to at any particular point P in space is called the potential of that point. This is what you know from your intermediate. And we also know that force work is done by some force, and force is related to the electric field. So somehow we have to involve the electric field in this definition of electric potential. And we also know, so we will do this by using the method of using the calculus. And we already know that we have already done this in the previous class, that curl of E is equal to 0. That is, for an electrostatic field, curl of E is equal to 0. This is what we know. What does it mean? It means that line integral, okay, line integral along a given path is 0. This is a closed line integral, means this circle what indicates that this integral is closed. So what we had done, that suppose there is some charge distribution at origin, okay, and if you and this due to this charge distribution there will be some electric field with different there will be some electric field in space. Suppose this is a point A, here will be some electric field, and if you go to some other point B, then there will be some electric field. So when you integrate electric field along this path or any other given path, then this is called line integral of electric field along this path. But if this point A and B are the same, then the closed line integral is phi is equal to E dot dl. That is, we have already discussed this, that closed line integral means if you are going like this part, you start from here, go like this, and again arrive at the same point, then this type of integral, this type of path is called closed path. And when you evaluate electric field, if it integrate electric field along this path, then this will give the line integral along the closed path. And you know that in for the case of electric field, electrostatic field, E dot dl is 0. What does it mean? It means that electric field is line integral of electric field is path independent. So since E dot dl integral of E closed integral of E dot dl is equal to 0, therefore we can say that the line integral of E from point A to point B is the same for all paths. Means if you suppose this is a point A, this is a point B, if you go by this path, let's call it path 1. If you go by this path, okay, say it part 2, or you are going by this part, okay. So in each case, E dot dl, E vector dot dl vector from A to B for all the path, means for path first, okay, is same equal to for path second. Clear? So the E dot dl is same for all paths. If this will not be same, then what will happen? This relation will not hold, because if you will go by this path and come by this path, then if these two will not be same, then it will not be equal to 0. But we have shown that this is equal to 0. It means line integral of electric field along a given path is path independent. Okay, since the line integral from a to b, or we can say the line integral is independent of path, so we can define a function as a define a function vr as a function of r. Okay, as from, so take some standard reference point o to r is equal to E dot dl. So here, since this is, since change from a to b is same, whatever you path following. Okay, so what is changing? So we can say that this is there is a physical quantity called potential which is changing when you go from a to b. So we define this quantity as with negative sign, integration from O to R E dot dl. So I have renamed it, I have defined this term as a potential. So here O is some standard reference point, some O is some standard reference point, and R is the position of the point where VR is calculated. Okay, so this is how the potential is defined. Since O is some standard reference point, so potential depends only on the point R, and hence this term is called electric potential. Okay, now the potential difference between 2 points. Suppose r is equal to a and r is equal to b can be given as, so vv minus va can be, so what I am calculating, I am calculating here the potential difference between 2 points. So at r is equal to a and r is equal to b, so from this definition we can write minus o to b E vector dot dl vector minus O to a E vector dot dl vector. Okay, so if you further solve it, simplify it, you can write this as minus a to b E dot dl. So this is your potential difference. So this is how the potential difference is defined. So this is your electric potential. Vb minus Va is equal to line integral of electric field from A to B with negative sign. And we also know from the fundamental theorem of, already discussed, fundamental theorem of gradients. We have discussed three fundamental theorems. The one is fundamental theorem of gradients. So in which we have discussed that Vv, if Vb minus Va can be written as A to B gradient of V dot dl. So we can write this from the fundamental theorem of gradients, according to which the integral line integral of a derivative is given by the value of function at the boundaries. Okay, so if line integral of gradient, this is gradient of V, so line integral of gradient of any function is given by the values of that function at the endpoints. So here the endpoints is A and B. So from the fundamental theorem of gradients we can write this. Okay, now compare these two equations 1 and 2. If you compare these two equations, you can write it E vector is equal to minus gradient of V. So we can say that electric field is gradient of scalar potential. Okay, electric field is gradient of scalar potential. We can obtain this relation directly from our differential form of line integral, that is the curl of E was 0, and we know that curl of gradient of a scalar function, okay, a scalar function is always, so what I want to say is always 0. So curl of E is 0, it implies that E must be the gradient of some scalar function, so we can directly write it here. Okay, so this is the relation that we have obtained. You might be thinking why there is negative sign. So take the simplest case of a point charge, electric field to a point charge. You know that 4 pi epsilon 9 q by r square. If you calculate the potential difference of 2 point B and A, you will get the expression like Vb minus Va is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q, okay, by 1 upon Ra minus 1 upon Rb. If you use this expression, you will get this. So in this case, if you put the potential, if suppose this point Rb is at infinity, then so Bb minus Va is equal to q upon 4 pi epsilon naught by 1 by Ra. So in order to set the potential at infinity, suppose the second point B is 0, so to set the potential at infinity equal to 0, we have added the negative sign in this expression. So I think it should be clear to you. If not clear, you can do again. So I have written it wrongly. Okay. So if you do, if you consider simplest case of electric field due to a point charge and evaluate Vb minus Va, so you will get the expression q upon 4 pi epsilon naught 1 upon Rb minus 1 by Ra. Now if Rb, if the point B is at infinity, then Rb will be infinity, and in this case if you assume that the potential at point B, that is at infinity, is 0 and 0, then in this case you will get the expression V minus Va is equal to minus q upon 4 pi epsilon naught 1 upon Ra. So potential, in order to keep the potential positive and keep the potential at infinity 0, we have added this negative sign. So our discussion in which we have defined the potential. We have defined the potential that is VR. Okay, VR is equal to minus some reference point to R E dot dl. We can set this reference point O at infinity in most of the case if you assume in our notation that the potential at infinity is 0. So we can set at infinity. So this expression, if you set a potential at infinity, so in this expression will give you the potential at any point R. So we shall use these expressions to evaluate the potential. Now we'll discuss the potential of a localized charge distribution. Potential of a localized charge distribution. So we have defined the potential VR as infinity to R at potential at R is defined as E dot dl. So far we have discussed. Now let's consider the single point charge plus Q. So electric field due to this charge Q is given by 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R square, and the direction will be along R cap. And you know that dl in spherical polar coordinate is given by dr r cap r sin theta d theta r cap plus r sin theta d phi cap. So dr r cap, this is r d theta. Okay, dl is your dr r cap r d theta r d theta, this is theta cap. Okay, r d theta theta cap plus r sin theta d phi cap. This is the length element. So now substitute this in this, you will get the potential at any point r as et to r. If you take the dot product of electric field with this, you will get the expression 1 upon 4 pi epsilon q by r square dr. So the electric potential, suppose this is your origin. If you solve this, you will get the expression 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q by r. Now suppose uh, there are, this is your coordinates y, x, y and z. Suppose there are some charge distribution here. Okay, and this you have taken some element, charge element theta. Are now let's first discuss about the point charges. Okay, now suppose, then it will be more clear. There are many point charges q1, q2, q3, q4. Okay, and suppose there is ith charge, and the position of this charge from origin is r I. Okay, I am writing in this notation r, and you want to calculate at potential at point p. Okay, so let me call it ri dash to clear it from r. And suppose this point p is at from origin at r distance, and this is your this r. So I am written in this symbol. R is the distance from the ith charge to p. So the potential due to this charge, ith charge at point p, can be written as v. So potential due to this charge, which is at r distance, okay, can be written as 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught uh, qi by r. Since we are talking about ith charge, so let me write it ri. So you can write it ri. Now since there are so many points, and so as the total potential due to this charge distribution, means this discrete charge distribution, you can write the potential Vr as sum of potential at point P due to the contribution of all other charges. So it can be written as 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught summation from I is equal to 1 to n qi by ri. Okay, now if this is a continuous charge distribution, so this is the potential due to the n charges at r distance, where ri is the separation from particular charge to this point P. So in this, using this expression, you can calculate the potential of a collection of charges. Okay, now let's assume that there is some continuous distribution of charge. Okay, some continuous distribution of charge. So in this case, if you want to calculate at any point P the potential, this is the this distribution of charge, you need to calculate, take the small element of this charge distribution, let's call it d tau, and if its charge density is rho, so this d tau volume will have the charge dq, and it is given by dq is equal to rho d tau. Okay, so the potential at any point r due to this charge distribution can be written as 4 pi epsilon naught dq by r, where r is the separation from this charge element, this volume element, to the point P where we have to calculate the potential. Okay, now okay, so for a volume charge distribution, you can also write this equation as y I am as we have, what I have done, in place of q I have written dq, and in place of summation I have used integration. Why? Because it is continuous distribution. Okay, so 4 pi epsilon naught dq can be written as rho d tau by r. So in this way you can calculate the electric potential due to the localized charge distribution. Now this is volume charge distribution. Okay, this is for volume charge. Now you can write the similar expression for line charge distribution, 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught, where charge is distributed along some line and line charge density is lambda, then you can write lambda dl by r. Okay, similarly you can write the expression for surface charge distribution, sigma dl by r. One thing you should note that this integration is over the volume of charge distribution, means over the space where the charge is distributed. If you integrating, means you have to integrate it over this volume. Okay, or if you are integrating, if you have a line charge distribution, means you are integrating along this line. Okay, so this was how the potential is defined in electromagnetic theory. In the next class, we'll discuss about the work and energy in electrostatic fields.